My beloved child, pause for a moment, because what you are about to hear is not ordinary, and it is not meant for everyone. Right now, as you listen to this message, something extraordinary is unfolding in a realm beyond human sight. In heaven, where truth is eternal and nothing is hidden, your name is being written. This is not a metaphor. This is not a story. This is happening in real time, and it is happening for you. Feel that for a second. Your name being inscribed in a divine record that carries eternal significance. Archangel Michael stands as a witness to this sacred moment, guarding the process, watching closely as your identity is etched into a place reserved for those who are awakening, those who are aligning, those who are being called into something far greater than they ever imagined. You were not randomly guided here. You were led. There is intention behind this moment, and heaven itself is paying attention to your response. But listen carefully, because there is something you must understand, and it carries urgency. If you turn away, it will disappear. Yes, just like that. The writing will fade, not because you are unworthy, but because you chose to disconnect from the very moment that was meant to transform you. This is how subtle it is. This is how fragile this process can be. Many begin this journey, feeling the same pull you feel right now, sensing that something divine is happening. But slowly, distractions creep in. Doubt whispers. The noise of the world grows louder. And without even realizing it, they step away and what was once written is gone. That is why this message has found you now. There is something within you that refused to be silent. A deeper part of your spirit recognized that this moment matters. You may not fully understand it yet, but you feel it. That quiet urgency in your chest, that sense that you need to keep listening, that something important is being revealed. That is not your imagination. That is confirmation. Heaven is not asking for perfection from you. It is asking for your presence. Stay here. Stay aware. Stay open. Because this is not just about a name being written. This is about alignment. This is about a divine opportunity that does not come often. You are standing at the edge of something sacred, something that could shift your life in ways you cannot yet see. And Archangel Michael is not here to frighten you. He is here to awaken you, to remind you that this moment is real, and it is active, and it requires your attention. Do not treat this as just another message. Do not let your mind wander, because right now, something is being decided in the spiritual realm, and your response matters more than you realize. So ask yourself honestly, without distraction, without hesitation, will you remain present and allow your name to be completed, or will you turn away and let it disappear? There is something you must now understand, something deeper than what has already been revealed, because what is being written in heaven is not just a name, it is a testimony of alignment between your soul and the divine. The book in which your name is being written is not like anything on this earth. It is not made of paper, and it is not bound by time. It is alive. It responds. It reflects truth without distortion. Every letter that begins to form carries the weight of your choices, your faith, and your willingness to remain connected to the call that has been placed upon your life. Archangel Michael stands beside this sacred record, not as a distant observer, but as a guardian of divine order. He sees what many cannot see. He knows how rare this moment is for you, and he is urging you, even now, to remain steady, because what is happening is not guaranteed to continue without your participation. You see, many believe that once their name begins to be written, it is permanent. But that is not the truth. The writing begins as an invitation, not a conclusion. It is a process that unfolds as you respond, moment by moment, to the direction of your spirit, Every time you choose awareness over distraction, truth over illusion, faith over fear, you allow another part of your name to be completed. But every time you ignore that inner voice, every time you dismiss what you feel deep within, the writing pauses. And if the pause becomes too long, it fades. This is why so many never realize what they lost. They felt something once, a moment of clarity, a sense of being chosen, a brief connection to something higher. But they brushed it aside. They told themselves it was nothing. They returned to the noise, to the routines, to the same patterns that kept them distant from their purpose. And slowly, silently, their name disappeared from the place where it had just begun. You are not meant to follow that path. There is a reason you are still here, still listening, still feeling the weight of these words. It means the connection has not been broken. It means the writing has not stopped. Even now, there's movement in the spiritual realm on your behalf. But you must not become passive in this moment. This is not a time to simply observe. This is a time to respond. Archangel Michael is calling you into awareness. He is asking you to recognize the significance of what is unfolding. You are not being asked to understand everything at once. You are being asked to stay aligned, to remain present, to trust what is being stirred inside you even if you cannot fully explain it. Because the truth is, your soul already knows. There is a part of you that recognizes this as real. A part of you that feels the importance of staying connected right now. Do not silence that part. Do not let doubt take its place. Doubt is the first step toward turning away, and turning away is what causes the writing to disappear. Instead, lean into this moment. Let yourself feel it fully. Let the awareness grow stronger instead of weaker. Because every second you remain present, every moment you choose to stay connected, something powerful continues to unfold in heaven. Your name is not just being written, it is being established, strengthened, and brought into completion. But only if you remain. Only if you choose not to turn away. And that choice is being made right now, within you. A quiet warning is rising now, and you must not ignore it, because what causes most people to lose this moment is not something obvious, but something subtle, something that slowly pulls them away without them even realizing it. Distraction does not arrive as a loud force. It comes gently, almost harmlessly, like a whisper that says, "You can focus on this later." It convinces you that this moment is not urgent, that there is always more time, that you can return whenever you want. But that is the illusion that has caused many to lose what was being written for them in heaven. Archangel Michael sees this clearly. He watches as souls begin to awaken, just as you are now. He sees the moment their name begins to form, the light that surrounds them, the divine attention that turns toward them. But he also sees the moment when their focus shifts, when their attention drifts, when they begin to entertain thoughts, habits, and influences that slowly disconnect them from the sacred alignment they had just entered. It does not happen all at once. It happens in small steps. A moment of doubt here, a distraction there, a choice to ignore what you felt in your spirit, and then another, and another, until the connection weakens and what was once clear becomes distant. This is how names disappear, not through a single decision, but through a pattern of turning away. You must understand this deeply, because it is happening around you every day. There are people who once felt exactly what you are feeling now. They had moments of clarity, moments of divine connection, moments where they knew something greater was unfolding in their lives. But they allowed the world to pull them back. They allowed fear to speak louder than faith. They allowed distractions to replace awareness. And without realizing it, They walked away from the very moment that could have changed everything. But you are being given a different path. Right now, you are being made aware of what is at stake. You are being shown the truth before it is too late. This is not meant to create fear within you. It is meant to strengthen your focus. It is meant to help you recognize the importance of staying aligned, of protecting this moment, of refusing to let anything pull you away from what is happening in your life right now. Because there are influences, seen and unseen, that do not want you to remain in this state of awareness. They thrive on distraction. They rely on your attention being divided. They wait for the moment when you stop paying attention, when you begin to drift, when you tell yourself that this is not as important as it feels. That is the moment they move in. But Archangel Michael stands as your protector in this process. He is not only revealing this truth to you, he is also guarding you as long as you remain willing to stay aligned. His presence is a shield, but it is activated through your awareness. The more present you are, the stronger that protection becomes. This is why your focus matters so much. What you choose to give your attention to in this moment will determine whether the writing continues or begins to fade. This is not about being perfect. It is about being conscious. It is about recognizing when something is pulling you away and choosing, intentionally, to return to this moment instead of drifting further from it. Ask yourself honestly, what has been distracting you lately? What thoughts, what habits, what influences have been pulling your attention away from your inner awareness? You already know the answer. And now that you see it, you have a choice. You can continue allowing those distractions to lead you away, step by step, until this moment fades, or you can decide, right now, to take your attention back, to become fully present again, to remain connected to what is happening in the spiritual realm for you. Because as long as you stay, as long as you remain aware, as long as you refuse to turn away, your name continues to be written. And nothing is more important than that. Type "I will not turn away" in the comments if this message is speaking directly to your spirit. Blessing code 3947 has just been released over your life. The moment you declare it, you are sealing your intention to remain aligned. You are making a conscious decision to stay present in what heaven is doing for you right now. And as you do, something shifts. Something strengthens. Something continues. There are those who feel called not only to receive this message, but to help carry it further, to become a vessel through which this light reaches others who are still lost in distraction. If you feel that stirring within you, know that your support is not just a gesture. It is a seed planted into the lives of countless souls who are waiting to hear what you have just heard. I am not just watching this, I am part of this mission. If that sentence resonates within you, then hear this as a divine invitation. The Lord says, "Give, and it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." Your giving becomes oil that keeps this light burning for others who are on the edge of losing their moment. This message you received is not meant to stop with you. It is meant to flow like a river, reaching hearts that are still searching, still drifting, still unaware. When you sow through Super Thanks or through the PayPal link in the description, you are stepping into obedience, not obligation. You are answering a call that carries eternal impact. Do not delay what your spirit is prompting you to do. Act now. Let your seed speak in heaven as your name continues to be written with power and permanence. As you give, may doors open for you. May clarity increase. May your connection grow stronger than ever before. Step into this moment fully. There are signs surrounding you right now, quiet but undeniable, and they are not random. They are confirmations. They are evidence that what has been revealed to you is not just words. but a living reality unfolding step by step in your life. You may have noticed it already. Moments where something inside you suddenly becomes still, as if time slows down just enough for you to feel a deeper presence. A thought that arrives with unusual clarity, not like your usual thinking, but something calmer, something wiser, something that feels placed rather than created. These are not coincidences. These are signals that your spirit is aligning with what is being written in heaven. Archangel Michael is not distant from you. His presence often comes in ways that are subtle, yet powerful. It may be a sudden sense of protection when you feel uncertain. It may be a quiet strength that rises within you when you would normally feel weak. It may even be a repeated message, a phrase, or a feeling that follows you throughout your day, refusing to be ignored. These are all signs, but many overlook them because they expect something louder, something more dramatic. They wait for a voice to speak from the sky or for something impossible to happen in front of their eyes. And because they do not see that, they dismiss what is actually happening within them. Do not make that mistake. The divine often speaks in ways that require your attention, not your assumptions. It speaks through your awareness, through your sensitivity, through the quiet spaces where truth can reach you without interference. Have you noticed patterns repeating in your life recently? Perhaps certain messages keep appearing in different forms. Perhaps you feel drawn toward something you cannot fully explain. Or maybe you feel a growing discomfort with things that once felt normal to you. These are not random shifts. These are adjustments happening within your spirit as it aligns with a higher calling. This is what it feels like when your name is being written. There is a pull, a gentle but persistent movement guiding you toward awareness and away from distraction. You begin to notice things you once ignored. You begin to question things you once accepted. You begin to feel a separation between what is true and what is simply noise. And that separation is important, because it allows you to stay aligned with what is happening beyond your physical world. It keeps you connected to the process that is unfolding for you in heaven. The more you recognize these signs, the stronger your connection becomes. Archangel Michael is guiding you through this awareness, step by step, not by force but by presence. He is helping you see clearly, helping you remain steady, helping you understand that you are not imagining this shift within you. You are responding to something real. And the more you acknowledge it, the more it grows. But here is what you must be careful of. Doubt often tries to disguise itself as logic. It will tell you that you are overthinking, that you are reading too much into things, that there is nothing truly happening. It will try to pull you back into a state where you ignore what you feel. Do not listen to that voice, because the signs you are receiving are not meant to be explained away. They are meant to be recognized. Think about the moments when you felt a sudden sense of peace without any clear reason, or the times when you avoided something without knowing why, only to later realize it was the right decision. These are not accidents. These are moments where you were guided, and that guidance is increasing now, because your awareness is increasing, because your alignment is becoming stronger, because your name is continuing to be written. So stay attentive. Stay open. Do not ignore the small things, because they are often the clearest signs. The more you notice, the more you will understand. And the more you understand, the easier it becomes to remain aligned with what is happening in your life right now. You are not alone in this process. You are being guided, protected, and watched over. And every sign you receive is a reminder that what is happening in heaven for you is real. It is active, and it is not to be taken lightly. There is a battle unfolding around you that you cannot see with your physical eyes, yet its effects are shaping your thoughts, your emotions, and your decisions every single day. This is not something to fear, but it is something you must recognize, because the moment your name begins to be written in heaven is the very moment resistance begins to rise against you. Archangel Michael knows this battle well. He has stood in the midst of it since the beginning, protecting those who are called, defending those who are chosen, and confronting forces that seek to interrupt divine purpose. And now, as your name is being written, his presence around you becomes even more intentional, because you are no longer unnoticed. You are no longer drifting without direction. You have entered a moment of alignment, and that alignment draws attention. There are forces that do not want you to stay in this awareness, not because they have power over you, but because they understand what happens if you remain. They know that if your name is fully written, if your alignment becomes complete, your life will shift in ways that cannot be reversed. You will begin to walk with clarity, with purpose, with a strength that cannot be easily shaken. And that is exactly what they tried to prevent. So how do these forces work? Not through obvious attacks, but through subtle influence. They plant thoughts that feel like your own, yet carry doubt. They create situations that test your patience, your focus, your faith. They amplify distractions, making small things seem urgent and important, pulling your attention away from what truly matters. You may have already felt this. Moments where your mind suddenly becomes restless for no clear reason. Times when you feel pulled in multiple directions, unable to focus on what your spirit is urging you to do. Situations where confusion appears where there was once clarity. This is not coincidence. This is resistance. But here is what you must understand clearly. Resistance only increases when you are moving in the right direction. If nothing was happening for you in heaven, there would be no need for interference. If your name was not being written, there would be no reason for distraction to intensify. The very fact that you are experiencing this tension is confirmation that something real is unfolding in your life. And you are not unprotected in this. Archangel Michael stands as a shield around you, but his protection is not automatic. It responds to your awareness. The more conscious you are of what is happening, the more aligned you remain, the stronger that protection becomes. It is activated through your willingness to stay present and to not give in to the pull of distraction and doubt. This is why your awareness is your greatest defense. When you recognize a thought that is trying to pull you away, you can choose not to follow it. When you feel a distraction trying to take your focus, you can choose to return to stillness. When confusion tries to cloud your mind, you can pause and reconnect with what you know to be true. These are small actions, but they carry great power, because every time you choose awareness over distraction, you weaken the influence of those forces that seek to interrupt your alignment. And every time you return to this moment, to this awareness, to this connection, you strengthen what is being written in heaven. This is how the battle is fought. Not with force, but with focus. Not with fear, but with clarity. Not by running away, but by remaining present. And the more you understand this, the less control those unseen influences have over you. You begin to see through them. You begin to recognize when something is not aligned. You begin to choose differently. And those choices matter more than you realize. Because every time you remain aligned, every time you refuse to turn away, every time you stay grounded in this awareness, your name continues to be written with greater strength, with greater permanence, with greater divine authority. So do not be discouraged by what you feel. Do not be shaken by the resistance. Let it remind you of what is happening. Let it confirm that you are on the right path. And most importantly, let it strengthen your resolve to stay. Because this moment is not ordinary. This process is not common. and what is being written for you in heaven is worth every effort it takes to remain aligned. There is a truth you must now face with complete honesty, because everything that is happening for you in heaven is being shaped by something you often overlook in your daily life. It is not chance. It is not luck. It is not something decided for you without your involvement. It is your choice. Every moment you live, every thought you entertain, every action you take is quietly influencing what is being written. This is not meant to overwhelm you, but to awaken you. Because once you understand the power of your choices, you begin to realize that you are not passive in this process. You are actively participating in it. Archangel Michael is showing you this now because many fail at this stage. I believe the writing will continue no matter what they do. They assume that once they feel the connection, it will carry them forward without effort. But that belief leads to carelessness, and carelessness leads to disconnection. You are being called to something higher than that. You are being called to awareness in your choices. Think about your day, even the simplest parts of it. The way you respond when something frustrates you. The thoughts you allow to repeat in your mind. The decisions you make when no one else is watching. These moments may seem small, but they are not insignificant. Each one is a thread, and together they form the fabric of your alignment. When you choose patience instead of reaction, something strengthens within you. When you choose truth instead of illusion, something becomes clearer. When you choose to listen to that quiet voice within instead of ignoring it, something continues to unfold in your favor. But the opposite is also true. When you choose to act without awareness, when you allow negativity to guide your thoughts, when you repeatedly ignore what your spirit is trying to show you, you begin to weaken that alignment. This is how the writing is affected. Not through one dramatic decision, but through consistent patterns of choice. Archangel Michael is not asking you to become perfect. He is asking you to become conscious. He is asking you to recognize the weight of your decisions and to understand that even the smallest choice can either move you closer to completion or pull you away from it. This is where many lose their way. They underestimate the power of small decisions. They think that only major actions matter. But in truth, it is the quiet, repeated choices that shape your direction. It is what you do when no one is watching, when there is no pressure, when it is just you and your thoughts. That is where alignment is either strengthened or weakened. You are being given the awareness to see this now. And with that awareness comes responsibility. But do not let that word make you feel burdened. This is not a weight meant to crush you. It is a key meant to empower you. Because when you understand that your choices matter, you also understand that you have the ability to change your direction at any moment. Nothing is fixed yet. The writing is still in progress. That means you can strengthen it. Right now, with a single conscious decision. You can choose to stay present instead of drifting. You can choose to listen instead of ignoring. You can choose to act with awareness instead of reacting without thought. And every time you make that choice, something shifts. Something aligns. Something continues to be real. This is how your name becomes established. Not through one perfect moment, but through a series of conscious decisions that keep you aligned with what is happening in the spiritual realm. So ask yourself now, not out of fear but out of clarity, what choices have you been making? Are they leading you toward alignment or away from it? Be honest with yourself, because honesty is the beginning of change, and change is still available to you. You are not locked into your past decisions. You are not defined by moments where you turned away. What matters is what you choose now, in this moment, with the awareness you have been given. Archangel Michael is guiding you toward this understanding because he knows what is at stake. He knows what is possible for you if you remain aligned. He sees what your life can become if your name is fully written and established. And he is urging you, through this very message, to choose wisely, not out of fear of losing something, but out of the understanding that you are building something sacred, something eternal, something that begins with a simple but powerful truth. Your choices are writing your name. There is something you must now see clearly, something many never realize until it is too late, and that is how suddenly a name can disappear once it has begun to be written. Not slowly, not with warning signs that are always obvious, but sometimes in a moment that feels ordinary, almost insignificant, yet carries eternal consequence. Archangel Michael reveals this not to frighten you, but to awaken a deeper level of awareness within you. Because there have been many who stood exactly where you are now. They felt the connection. They sensed the shift. They knew something sacred had begun. And for a time, they remained aligned. But then came a moment. A single moment where they chose to turn away. It did not feel like a major decision. It did not seem like something that would change everything. It felt small, harmless, easy to justify. But that moment was not as small as it appeared. Let me show you what this looks like. There was someone, not unlike you, who once felt this same calling. They had reached a point in their life where everything seemed to pause just long enough for them to recognize that something greater was unfolding. They felt guided, protected, chosen. Their awareness increased, just as yours is increasing now. They began to notice the signs, the patterns, the quiet voice within them that was leading them towards something higher. And for a while, they followed it. Your name had begun to be written. But then life presented them with a familiar distraction. Something they had encountered many times before. A situation that pulled on their emotions, that stirred old habits, that tempted them to respond in a way that was comfortable rather than aligned. At first, they hesitated. They felt the tension between what they knew was right and what felt easy. And in that moment, they had a choice. They could remain aligned, stay present, and continue forward, where they could give in, just this once, and return to what they had always done. They told themselves it was not a big deal. They told themselves they could come back later. They told themselves this one moment would not affect anything. So they turned away. And at first, nothing seemed to happen. Life continued as usual. The world did not stop. There was no immediate consequence that they could see. And because of that, they believed everything was still fine. But what they could not see was that something had changed. The connection had weakened. The awareness had dimmed. And the writing had paused. Days passed. And more moments came, similar to the first. And each time, it became easier to turn away. Easier to ignore the inner voice. Easier to return to old patterns. And slowly, without realizing it, they drifted further from the alignment they once had. Until one day it was gone. The feeling they once carried had disappeared. The clarity they once had was no longer there. The connection they once felt had faded into something distant, something they could barely remember. And so had their name. Not erased with force, not removed with judgment, but faded through disconnection. This is the truth that many do not want to face. It is not one great failure that causes loss. It is a series of small decisions that lead you away. And that is why this moment matters so much for you. Because you are not unaware. You have been shown what is happening. You have been given the understanding that others did not have when they stood at this same point. You have been warned, guided, and awakened before reaching that place of complete disconnection. That is a gift, but it is also a responsibility. Because now, when your moment comes, and it will come. You will recognize it. You will feel the choice in front of you. You will know what is aligned and what is not. And in that moment, you will decide whether your name continues to be written or begins to fade. Archangel Michael is preparing you for that moment now. He is strengthening your awareness so that when the test appears, you do not respond unconsciously, so that you do not fall into the same pattern that has caused others to lose what was being written for them. Because your story does not have to end the same way. You are still aligned. You are still aware. Your name is still being written. But what happens next will depend on what you choose when the moment arrives. There is an invitation being extended to you now, and it is not forceful. It is not demanding. It is gentle, yet filled with divine urgency. It is the invitation to remain, to stay aligned, to hold your position in this sacred moment where your name is still being written. Archangel Michael is not only warning you of what could be lost, he is guiding you toward what can be secured. Because the truth is, you are not meant to live in constant fear of turning away. You are meant to grow stronger in your alignment so that remaining becomes natural, steady, and unshakable. This is where your awareness begins to mature into something deeper, something rooted. You may be asking yourself now, how do I remain? How do I hold on to this connection when life continues to pull me in so many directions? The answer is simpler than you think, but it requires sincerity. You remain by returning, again and again, no matter how many times your attention drifts, no matter how many moments you feel yourself slipping, you come back. You bring your awareness back to this truth. You remind yourself of what is happening beyond what you can see. This is not about never losing focus. This is about always choosing to return when you do. Archangel Michael understands your human nature. He knows that your mind will wander, that your environment will challenge you, that situations will arise that test your patience and your awareness. But none of those things have the power to disconnect you unless you choose to stay away. That is the key. As long as you return, the connection remains alive. As long as you remain willing, the writing continues. This is why you must release the pressure of perfection. Perfection creates fear, and fear leads to hesitation. But alignment is not built on perfection. It is built on consistency. It is built on your willingness to stay connected, even when it is difficult, even when it requires effort, even when it means choosing differently than you did before. And each time you choose to return, something strengthens within you. You begin to notice that distractions lose their hold more quickly. You begin to feel that your awareness comes back faster. You begin to sense that your connection is becoming more stable, more grounded, more real. This is growth. This is alignment deepening. This is your name being written with greater strength. Archangel Michael is guiding you into this understanding because he wants you to succeed in this process. He is not standing at a distance, waiting for you to fail. He is walking with you, encouraging you, strengthening you, reminding you that you are capable of remaining. You are not too weak. You are not too distracted. You are not too far gone. You are here. And that means everything. So when the moment comes, when you feel yourself drifting, when you notice your attention being pulled away, do not judge yourself. Do not give up. Simply return. Return to this awareness. Return to this presence. Return to the understanding that something sacred is still unfolding for you. And as you do, you will begin to feel something shift within you. A quiet confidence, a steady awareness, a growing sense that you are no longer easily moved away from what matters. This is how you remain. This is how your name continues to be written without interruption. Not through force, but through faithfulness. Not through perfection, but through persistence. And as you embrace this, you will realize that what once felt fragile is becoming strong, what once felt uncertain is becoming clear, and what once felt temporary is becoming established. Your name is not meant to disappear. It is meant to remain. Type "I choose to remain" in the comments if you feel this truth settling into your spirit. Blessing code 8821 is now being activated over your life. As you declare it, you are not just speaking words, you are making a decision. You are aligning yourself with what heaven is doing for you right now. You are strengthening the very process that is unfolding beyond your sight. And in that decision, something becomes anchored. Something becomes steady. Something continues. There are souls who are still on the edge of losing this moment, who have not yet heard what you have heard, who are one step away from turning away without even realizing it. And just as you were guided to this message, others are waiting to be reached. I choose to be a vessel for this light. If this rises within you, then understand, this is not just a feeling, this is a calling. The Lord declares, whoever brings light to others will be filled with light themselves. Your giving becomes a river, carrying this message into places your voice alone cannot reach. When you sow through Super Thanks or through the PayPal link in the description, you are not making a simple contribution. You are stepping into divine partnership. You are helping keep this message alive, active, and moving, so that others do not lose what heaven is trying to write for them. Do not wait for another moment. Act in this one. Let your obedience flow as a response to what you have received. As you give, may your life overflow with clarity, with favor, with unshakable alignment. May what is being written for you become permanent, powerful, and complete. Step into this calling now. There is something beautiful that must now be revealed to you, because up until this moment, you have been shown the warnings, the responsibility, and the weight of what is happening. But now, you must understand the reward. You must see what awaits you if you remain aligned, if you stay present, if you allow your name to be fully written and established in heaven. This is not a small outcome. This is not something that passes without impact. This is a transformation that reaches into every part of your life. Archangel Michael is revealing this to you now so that your heart is not only alert, but also encouraged. Because staying aligned is not just about avoiding loss. It is about stepping into something greater than you have ever known. When your name is fully written, something shifts within you in a way that cannot be undone. Clarity replaces confusion. You begin to see your life with a new understanding. Decisions that once felt difficult become easier because you are no longer guided by uncertainty. There is a quiet knowing within you, a steady awareness that leads you in the right direction without struggle. This clarity is not forced. It flows. It becomes a natural part of who you are. Peace begins to settle within you in a deeper way than you have ever experienced. Not the kind of peace that depends on circumstances, but a peace that remains even when things around you are uncertain. It is steady. It is grounded. It is real. This is the peace that comes from alignment, from knowing that you are exactly where you are meant to be, from feeling that your life is no longer drifting, but moving with purpose. And with that peace comes strength, a strength that is not loud, not aggressive, but unshakable. The kind of strength that allows you to face challenges without losing yourself. The kind of strength that keeps you grounded when others around you are overwhelmed. The kind of strength that reminds you that you are protected, guided, and not alone. Archangel Michael stands even closer in this stage. His presence becomes something you recognize more clearly. You begin to feel protected in ways you cannot fully explain. Situations that could have harmed you seem to pass by without touching you. Decisions that could have led you astray are avoided without struggle. This is not coincidence. This is alignment creating protection. This is your name being established. And there is more. Opportunities begin to open in your life. Doors that once seemed closed, paths that once felt blocked. You may find yourself stepping into situations that feel right, meeting people who bring clarity rather than confusion, experiencing moments that seem to unfold perfectly without force. This is what happens when your life begins to move in harmony with what is written in heaven. Things align. Not because everything becomes easy, but because everything begins to make sense. Even challenges begin to carry purpose. You no longer see them as obstacles, but as steps that are shaping you, strengthening you, preparing you for something greater. This is the reward of remaining. This is what so many never reach, not because it was not available to them, but because they turned away before it could be completed. But you are still here. You have not turned away. You have remained through awareness, through choice, through understanding. And because of that, this outcome is still available to you. Your name is still being written. Your alignment is still active. Your path is still unfolding. So do not lose sight of what is ahead. Do not become so focused on the effort that you forget the reward. Because what is waiting for you is not just a moment. It is a new way of living. A life where clarity guides you. A life where peace grounds you. A life where strength carries you. A life where protection surrounds you. And a life where you know, without doubt, that you are aligned with something greater than yourself. This is what happens when your name remains. This is what happens when the writing is completed. And this is what Archangel Michael is guiding you toward, step by step, moment by moment. So stay aware, stay aligned, because what is being prepared for you is worth everything it takes to remain. There is something within you that must now be released, something that has quietly followed you for a long time, something that has tried, again and again, to pull you away from alignment without you even realizing it. It is not an external force. It is not something outside of your control. It is what you have been carrying inside, the weight of your past. Archangel Michael is bringing this into your awareness now because many reach this stage and begin to feel unworthy. They begin to look back at their past mistakes, their regrets, their moments of weakness, and they start to believe that what is being written for them cannot possibly remain. They question whether they deserve it. They wonder if something from their past will eventually erase what is happening now. But hear this clearly. Your past does not have the authority to write what heaven is writing for you in this moment. The only way your past gains power is if you continue to carry it as if it defines you. Think about how often your mind returns to what you wish you had done differently. The moments you replay. The decisions you regret. The things you wish you could change. Each time you revisit those thoughts without awareness, you allow them to influence your present. And when your present is influenced by your past, your alignment begins to weaken. Not because you are unworthy, but because your focus is divided. Archangel Michael is calling you now to release that weight. Not by denying that your past exists, but by refusing to let it control your present choices. Because the truth is, every moment you remain aligned right now carries more power than anything you have done before. You are not being judged based on where you have been. You are being guided based on where you are willing to go. And right now, you are moving forward. This is what matters. Many lose their alignment not because they choose distraction, but because they become trapped in guilt. They begin to believe that their past disqualifies them, that somehow what they have done before is stronger than what is being written now. But that is not truth. That is a distortion. And it is one of the most subtle ways people turn away, because instead of staying present, they turn inward in the wrong way. They begin to focus on their flaws instead of their growth. They begin to doubt the process instead of trusting it. And slowly, without realizing it, they disconnect from what was unfolding for them. You are being protected from that path right now, because you are being shown this before it takes hold. You are being given the awareness to see that your past is not your identity. It is a chapter that no longer has authority over your direction unless you give it that authority. So what do? You acknowledge it and then you release it. You stop carrying it as a burden. You stop using it as a reason to doubt yourself. You stop allowing it to interfere with what is happening now. Because every moment you hold on to it, you are dividing your focus between what was and what is. And this process requires your presence in what is. Archangel Michael is guiding you to step fully into this moment, free from the weight that has been holding you back. He is reminding you that you are not the same person you were before. You are aware now. You are aligned now. You are choosing differently now. And that is what matters. You do not need to go back and fix everything. You do not need to prove anything. You only need to remain present and continue forward. Because what is being written for you is not based on your past, it is based on your alignment in this moment. And right now, you are aligned. Right now, you are aware. Right now, your name is still being written. So let go of what tries to pull you backward. Let go of the thoughts that tell you that you are not enough. Let go of the weight that does not belong in this moment anymore. Because the more you release, the more space you create for what is being written to become stronger, clearer, and more permanent. You are not being held back. You are being called forward. And the only thing you need to do is keep moving in that direction. There is a moment approaching, one that will not announce itself loudly, one that will not arrive with warning signs that are obvious to the world around you. Yet when it comes, you will feel it. Deep within, you will recognize that something is being asked of you. This is the moment where everything you have been shown, everything you have felt, everything you have understood will come together in a single choice. Archangel Michael is preparing you for this now because this moment is not sluchadikaki enyurikaki. It is intentional. It is necessary. And it is the point where your alignment is no longer just something you feel. It becomes something you prove. This is what many would call the final test. But do not think of it as something meant to make you fail. It is not a trap. It is not a setup. It is a confirmation. It is the moment where your awareness becomes action, where your understanding becomes decision, where your alignment becomes established. You have already been guided through so much. You have been shown the importance of remaining present. You have been warned about distraction. You have been made aware of your choices. You have seen what happens when people turn away. You have felt the pull to stay aligned. And now, all of that will be placed in front of you in a real situation. It may come in a form that feels familiar, a situation that tests your patience, a moment that challenges your focus, an opportunity to return to something that once pulled you away, or even a quiet moment where no one is watching, where the choice is yours alone, without pressure, without influence. And in that moment, you will feel it. You will feel the difference between what is aligned and what is not. You will recognize the voice within you that has been guiding you through this entire process. And you will have a choice, to follow it or to ignore it. This is where your name either continues to be written with strength or begins to fade. Not because of judgment, but because of alignment. Archangel Michael will be present in that moment, not to force your decision, but to strengthen your awareness. You may feel a sudden clarity, a pause, a quiet knowing that reminds you of everything you have been shown. That is not coincidence. That is guidance reaching you at the exact moment you need it most. Do not ignore it, because this moment is not about perfection. It is about direction. It is about showing, through your choice, that you are no longer drifting unconsciously, that you are no longer reacting without awareness, that you are now someone who sees clearly and chooses accordingly. And if you choose alignment, something powerful happens. The writing strengthens in a way that is different from before. It becomes more stable, more rooted, more permanent, because you have not only received the awareness, you have acted on it. This is what establishes your name. This is what moves you from possibility into certainty. But if you turn away, if you ignore what you know, if you choose what is easy over what is aligned, then the connection weakens. Not instantly, not dramatically, but enough to begin a shift. And that is why this moment matters so much. Because it is not just another choice. It is the choice that reflects everything you have become aware of. You are not the same person you were before this message reached you. You cannot say you do not know. You cannot say you were unaware. You have been shown too much. And that is why this moment carries weight. But do not let that weight create fear within you. Let it create clarity. Let it remind you that you are ready. Because you are. You have been prepared for this. Step by step. Moment by moment. Awareness by awareness. Archangel Michael would not bring you to this point if you were not capable of standing in it. So when that moment comes, pause. Listen. Feel. And choose. Choose alignment. Choose awareness. Choose to remain. Because what you decide in that moment will determine whether your name is simply being written or finally established. My beloved, be still for a moment, because what has been unfolding within you has not gone unnoticed, not in heaven, not in the presence of the divine, and not by Archangel Michael, who has stood beside you through every step of this journey. You have come through awareness, through warning, through understanding, and through choice. You have seen what is at stake. You have felt the weight of what could be lost. But now, in this final moment, you are being invited into something deeper. Not urgency, not tension, but peace. Because if you are still here, if you have remained, then something powerful has already taken place within you. Your awareness has become steady. Your spirit has become alert. Your heart has chosen to stay. And because of that, the writing has not stopped. It has continued. Even in the moments where you felt unsure, it continued. Even in the moments where you questioned yourself, it continued. Even in the moments where you almost drifted, something within you pulled you back. That was not sluchikakeno. That was alignment growing stronger within you. Archangel Michael wants you to understand this clearly. You are not standing at the edge anymore. You have stepped into the process. You have responded to the call. You have chosen to remain when many would have turned away. And because of that, what is being written for you is no longer fragile in the way it once was. It is becoming established. There is a peace that comes with this realization, a quiet confidence that you do not need to force anything anymore. You do not need to chase what is already unfolding for you. You only need to continue being who you have now become, aware, present, and aligned. Let your heart rest in the truth. You are not alone. You have never been alone. Even in moments where you felt disconnected, even in times where you questioned your path, there was always guidance surrounding you, always protection standing beside you, always a presence calling you back. And you responded. That is what matters. So now, release the fear. Release the tension. Release the thought that everything depends on a single moment. Because what has been built within you is stronger than that. You are no longer the person who would easily turn away without awareness. You are someone who sees, who feels, who understands. And that changes everything. Your name is not just being written, it is being secured through your consistency, through your awareness, through your willingness to remain. And as you move forward from this moment, carry this peace with you. Let it guide you. Let it remind you. Let it anchor you. Because what has begun in heaven for you is not meant to disappear. It is meant to remain. Type "My name remains" in the comments if you receive this message with your whole spirit. Blessing code 9912 is now flowing over your life, sealing what hath been written and strengthening what is being established. Feel that peace settle within you. Feel that assurance rise within your heart. Because this is not the end of something, this is the beginning of a life lived in alignment, in awareness, and in divine connection. There are many who are still searching for this moment, still drifting without understanding, still standing at the edge without realizing what is being offered to them. And just as this message reached you at the exact time you needed it, others are waiting for their moment of awakening. I am part of this divine work. I help carry this light. If this rises within you, then hear this as a living call. The Lord speaks. Those who sow into the Spirit will reap life everlasting. Your giving becomes a seed of light, spreading this message into hearts that are ready but have not yet heard. This is not just support. It is participation in something eternal. When you give through Super Thanks or through the PayPal link in the description, you are stepping into alignment with this mission. You are helping ensure that no soul loses their moment simply because the message did not reach them in time. Do not wait. Do not delay what your spirit is prompting right now. Act with faith. Let your giving move as a response to what has been revealed to you. As you sow, may your life overflow with peace, with clarity, with divine favor. May what had been written for you be sealed, strengthened, and multiplied. Step into this moment fully and remain.